What's up, everybody? Giving no headset a go, see how it works out. All the first videos I've made, I've been wearing it, so it's a little different. And as you can see, I got a screenshot up. This didn't get recorded on the leaderboards, but this was my best run for 151 so far. I did clear 150 Friday night my time, so it was literally probably right at midnight Eastern time, between Friday night, Saturday morning. So yeah, pretty proud of that damage. I didn't really focus too hard on composition. I just kind of threw in the heroes that I've been using most of the way for the climb and let them rip. Getting into the actual game, you can see these were all recent additions that I started leveling up just to start testing. I haven't built any of them out yet. So you can see these 9 heroes up here were kind of my core team. These are more people not built out that I was testing. Icarus, I used a little bit in the early game, so he might be considered the 10th person. Dagonet and Shinigami also didn't get much use, but were a little bit in the early game. As you can see, I've got a lot of toys since I cleared everything. YDG, Pangu, Quetz, Set, Osiris, Pandora. These are all heroes I didn't get last wave either, except for Set. But Set I kind of dropped off after the early game, so I wanted to do some more testing with him. Drac, pumped. I got him as my 150 clear last wave, but I cleared 150 on the last day last time, so I didn't even get to do anything with him. He was on my account for maybe 10 hours. Also Hell, I've heard great things about her as a nuker, so excited to play with her. And Loki, I haven't heard great things, but I have him. Probably going to do a little bit of testing. As for other heroes, Gilgamesh I didn't have last wave. Achilles I did have last wave, but kind of same as Set. I dropped him after the early game. Beowulf, I think I built up at the end of the last wave, but again, didn't do much with him. And then we have some more Horus. Sphinx I didn't get last time. Honda Duat, I think I actually didn't pull him last time, which was crazy. And then Musashi, Bastet, and Bernhild I had, but never used on the first wave. So my starter for this wave was Guan Yu. I do kind of like him, but I didn't really give him a great opportunity in the late game. You can see he's got this crap gear on, 29% crit. He's not really built well at all. Probably going to do some more testing. I do have the other starters somewhere down here. They're not leveled out yet, but I do have all these rares level 5 awakened to play with. And I do want to do some starter comparisons. I guess the last thing I want to touch on for heroes is I did try to mainly use heroes I didn't use before. I did have Heimdall in Wave 1, but he was causing so many issues for me with the freezing and everything. I kind of had to find ways to work around without using him, so I could do some farming. Otherwise, he would just freeze my game and I wouldn't get any farming done. So I wanted to give him another chance while he wasn't so broken. And Fateless Team earmuffs real quick. He is super OP, a super hard carry. From 120, I got him at 120. And from then on, it was pretty steady climbing with him. Fateless Team, you can unearmuff now. So yeah, he was real helpful. Shishi was a real important part of my team last wave, so I knew he would help push through those last floors. So I wanted to use him again. And Isolde, I wasn't planning on using as much this wave, but she was my main speed lead. And I didn't have a lot of speed going for me this wave so far. So she really helped support-wise and just with that extra boost of speed to help get things going. Getting into Imprints, it's nice that they're working this wave. I don't really have anything to touch on, but definitely keep an eye on your hero capacity, because I did not extract this many imprints. This was all just overflow from farming, so something to keep in mind. Obviously I got lucky, these are all rares, but if you have a bunch of epic and legendary imprints, it could be because your hero roster's full and you just lost out on those heroes that could be huge additions to your account. So definitely make sure you're keeping track of your storage. I don't really have much to touch on for weapons either. Kind of just had a few that I wanted to push, like the Solar Flare of Shamash and the Heka for Hercules. And I was really lacking defense in Heimdall's build, so that's why I pushed this one. One thing I almost forgot to call out about weapons is they kind of have the same problem as Blessings and Raid, where, what do I have for the healers? Might just be these are the options during alpha, and it could be different in beta and launch. But for example, we have the Grail, increase all sources of outgoing healing by 30%, which is great for a healer. But you have accuracy as the main stat, and every weapon I've seen has either accuracy or attack as the main stat. And sure, accuracy does have the dual purpose where you get a better chance at a strong hit, but we're talking about healers here. Not really interested in them strong hitting, and a lot of the healers just have stuff, I should say support champions, just have buffs for your team and don't even debuff the enemies. So accuracy is kind of useless for your support heroes if they don't have debuffs. And I mean, obviously the substats are the substats. Defense, more survivability is great, and get a chance at HP percent. So the substats don't really have an issue with, just the main stats, and this, as far as I know, is the only weapon that supports healing. I was kind of clicking around just doing a quick double check, and there's stuff like gain 2% turn meter when attacked, which is kind of beneficial for everyone. So yeah, hopefully that's something planned for beta or full launch, but I would just feedback that weapons need more variety of main stat. Main stat is flat, so I don't think it would be game breaking to get flat HP or defense, just to help build survivability into your support heroes. I know double HP might be a little busted on Heka, so that might be something that stays accuracy, but other weapons that could have, like the Grail, could totally use something for survivability instead of accuracy. Moving on from weapons, just touch on resources real quick. I guess some people just have some crazy farms going because they're burning through energy. I cannot burn through energy fast enough. I've usually been sitting around 7k. This 4,500 is actually low for me, but I was farming overnight and all morning. I'm recording this in the afternoon, and managed to get down to still above 4.5k. Gold, I fed back in wave 1 that it felt a little too tight. Not necessarily in like a full game economy kind of way, but as far as alpha testing goes, just for the ability to upgrade and test gear, I felt like it was a little low. But I also didn't really farm the treasure golem, so I wasn't getting the full benefit of that. And gold does feel better now farming those stages. I could always use a little more, because admittedly this 51 I'm going to burn through pretty quick, but again, it is definitely feeling better once you understand 60 and 120 or where you want to be to farm gold, and I've been able to do a lot more this wave with the gearing. Going back into heroes real quick. Ascension stones still feel a little tight, but they're definitely way better since they doubled up on them. These guys are all the same. I think it was a huge addition getting those doubled up. You can see I'm low on the blues. Haven't really been doing a good job of farming them, that's part of why I'm so tight. But something like the Eternals are still pretty tough to get because they don't have a farming stage of their own, but they are at least a little more accessible than Wave 1, so still a huge help overall. Just still a little tight, but also with some more focused farming, I don't think it'll be that bad. I guess while we're on the Ascension screen, just talk about abilities real quick. Books, and scrolls are real easy to farm. I guess they're tomes, yeah. Tomes and scrolls are real easy to farm now. It's a huge boost to be able to try out these heroes and really test them out. I know some, like YDG, have a broken ability that should be getting fixed. But yeah, you can see right here, level 4, +1 cooldown. You don't want to add a turn to your cooldown, so that's a bit of a funny bug, but it should be getting patched. I think that's it for resources. I will say, getting into the caverns, it is like you're playing a totally different game once you get into like the 110s, 120s. Obviously something they changed for Wave 2 is now on the 120s you're getting all gear of these sets instead of just, I think it's boots on the first one. No, not boots, helmet. So prior to 120 you're just getting a helmet, just getting chest, just getting pauldrons, and that's the same for all the 1s, 2s, 3s prior. Same things with the 4, 5, 6, 7. We won't go through them all. But they switched it, so 121 you're farming everything of these sets. 122 you're farming everything of these sets, which was a phenomenal change because it was painful farming overnight, and you're like, well, there's no set limit to your auto farm, so do I want to wake up to 1,000,000 pairs of boots and no other gear? So now you can really dial in on what sets you want, and you can get pieces, all variety of pieces. And also the hero drops just explode up in these higher 100 levels. A lot of my legendaries came from 130 and above. And you can see when I went through my heroes, my count was pretty stacked. I think I have all the legendaries except for Odin and Isis and Aphrodite. Might be missing some there, but I think those are the only 3 I'm missing. Basically, the drops feel great once you get into the lower levels, lower floors, I guess, of the caverns. Into a battle real quick. This is the team I'm mainly farming with. Usually I'll pull Heimdall out if I want to do a little more damage or control. Shamash has been a huge carry also. Throw Heimdall in and just let it rip. This real quick. You can see that joint attack just nukes down the whole wave. It's pretty great. And Herc is old, already got their ultimates. Heimdall real close. Just for some general thoughts, Wave 2 felt like a totally different game experience for me from Wave 1. For the better. I know some people are still having issues with some annoying bugs and getting hung up, but I was actually able to auto my way through the whole tower, except for the whole caverns, except for floor 142. That one was really challenging, so I did have to manual to get through that. But I had been mostly playing at work, so that's why I've kind of just been tossing it on auto and setting my phone aside, trying to get through as much as I can. But the improvements have been awesome for me. The slider was one of the things that was a real problem for me in the first wave for leveling up heroes and weapons. It was real hard to be accurate with it, so a lot of times I would end up on, like, trying to rank them up to rank 3, for example, and I had a lot of heroes at level 31 just because I couldn't get that thing to line up right where I needed it to just hit the rank. Nothing crazy there. Just go back to the Sanctum for the background. But yeah, I guess I should show the slider. I guess he's a bad example. I need some more food, so we'll grab one of these guys. So this bar on mobile was crazy. I just would end up here or here, and it was impossible to line up here. One thing I keep forgetting is that you can click on the stars. So that would help a lot. But overall, just the bar feels way better this time. Let's not bring him up to 6. Let's get him up to 5 so we can be food for a stick star. But yeah, I guess for Wave 1, my biggest issues were the slider, the Isis and Hercules bugs, that they were almost impossible to kill on some levels, and the memory leaks. The memory leaks really killed my Wave 1 progression. This wave, I've actually been using my tablet to farm overnight, just leaving it on the charger stand and letting it go. And that was something I could not do during Wave 1, because wherever I was farming, there would be some type of bug that would cause it to freeze or crash after an hour just from the memory leaks themselves. So I wasn't really able to effectively farm anything and progress as quickly in Wave 1 as I was for Wave 2. I think I mentioned earlier playing on my phone at work, and that was another big improvement. Was probably took 15-20 minutes before the phone was burning in your hand on Wave 1, and for Wave 2 it took like an hour, maybe 2, to get warm, and I don't think it got as hot as it did during Wave 1, but still did heat up eventually and kill your battery pretty quickly, but to be expected for the alpha not being fully optimized. I just appreciated that it was a huge improvement from Wave 1, and I was able to actually play without my phone, or without the game stalling out or crashing on me every little bit. I think that covers everything I wanted to talk about. Overall, just like Wave 1, still think very positively of the game so far. Still having a blast playing it. Don't want to put it down, I just want to keep farming and improving and re-gearing and trying out new things. So, same as Wave 1, I still think they found the fun, and they've made great improvements already, even just Wave 1 to Wave 2. Not excited for Wave 2 to be ending by the end of the week, but looking forward to Wave 3 and even more improvements coming. The game should continue to be a blast. And that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.